hold on. I'm gonna. Oh, we're rolling. Anyway.
Are we on?
Yes.
Jim and Evan, Southwestern PA Rural Exploration Blog. We're back. It's been a little while since our last blog. We decided to come to Mather, PA today. You can't talk about coal mining in southwestern Pennsylvania, Greene County especially, without mentioning the Mather mine. It was one of the largest mines around at the time. Also, you can see what's left of the old slate piles. These are small right now compared to what they used to be. If you would cross over those slate piles and head that direction, you would eventually end up at the Jefferson Morgan High School, that area. These slate dumps were so much larger, but they've been partially reclaimed over the past several years, and we are now down by what we believe is the old Mather Reservoir party spot. We are heading down to try to find what's left of a railroad bridge that led to the mine down here. It's partially collapsed and it looks really cool on the Bing map, so we're going to head down through here and see if we can find it. But we will be doing an additional blog on the Mather mine because it was such a large mine. You know, the patch that still remains obviously was, you know, associated with the coal company, and there was an explosion at Mather mine.
Correct.
Off the top of my head, I feel ashamed for not knowing the year off the top of my head.
I think it was 1920 something.
It was in there. A lot of men died in that.
I want to say 21.
And, you know,
1921.
a lot of men whose families, you know, are still around and descendants are still around. So if you're talking coal history in Greene County, PA, you gotta come to the Mather mine. So we're gonna head down and see if we can find this cool railroad bridge. And
now they say at one time you can see this waste pile from outer space. It was that large. Now I don't know if it was just an exaggeration, but it was huge.
I would almost believe that because it was pretty freaking big.
It was huge, and it still is. If you look on the Bing Maps or Google Maps, you can still see the remnants of this
I remember
pile.
in the high school days and even after the high school days, kids would party on the slate dumps. You know, you could kind of get back up into them.
Right.
And they would tell stories about how there were, you know, pockets and crevices in the slate dumps where if you fell down in there, you know, nobody knew for sure how far you were going to fall or, you know, all that stuff.
Because
so it was
because they do smolder.
It's actually pretty dangerous.
And they burn. But there's no buildings left up there, to my knowledge.
Nah, I don't think
of the old operations up there at all. I believe that they've all been torn. They've been torn down.
They've been gone for a while, yeah. Another thing about the slate dumps that's interesting is that back in the day, the method they had for separating coal wasn't as advanced as it is now. So a large portion of these piles is usable coal. I don't know the percentage off the top of my head. I'm wanting to say I've heard up to 40% mentioned. So companies would come in and reclaim these slate dumps and you know, get out the usable coal. I don't know if there's any work still going on here or not. It doesn't look like there's anything. I mean, there's some trucks and stuff up there, but they look to me like they've been parked for a while. So we're going to head down, see if we can find the railroad bed and this bridge. So,
yep. I kind of like how, it's kind of endearing how Ed Mountjoy Jr. calls them culm piles. C-U-L-M. We call them slate dumps.
Slate dumps?
I guess it's just regional, because we had to buy 2 minutes coal here.
I heard, what's the other...
Culm, slurry, they all sorts of names for these.
Someone calls them a bony pile.
Bony piles or something,
I've heard that mentioned too, but we always call them slate dumps.
Yep.
And,
they're everywhere. Or sometimes people erroneously call them ash piles.
Yeah.
And they're not ash piles.
Now, the ones that are across the river from the Crucible mine, which we need to get back over to, those are probably some of the largest ones that are still around that are untouched from the mines, because I think pretty much a lot of them, you know, have been at least partially cleaned up. There's also some slate dumps that remain down around in Fredericktown, and what's crazy is if you look at an aerial map, I wonder if that would take us down.
No, this is it. I guarantee this is it.
If you look at an aerial map of the Fredericktown area, it kind of looks like somebody took a town and dumped a big pile of slate in the middle of it.
It does. And you don't even notice it as you're driving by.
Or the town is kind of, I don't know. We'll put a link to it on the blog, but you can check that out. So tomorrow in the rain and the snow that's supposed to be coming. We will be down in that area checking some stuff out.
We've been rambling too long. I'm going to turn this off.
Chip and Evan, Southwestern PA Rural Exploration Blog, near Mather, PA today. As I said in the earlier clip, you can't talk about Greene County coal mining without mentioning Mather Mine. It was one of the largest mines around. We are right down below.
Here,
this
hold
is
it.
10 Mile, right?
Yeah.
On the 10 Mile Creek, right down below Mather, near an old railroad bridge, or what's left of an old railroad bridge that led probably right into the mine, I guess, huh?
That's what they said. This serviced the Mather Mine.
And we're not far from the area known as Stony Point, which is right near Mather also.
Right
it's
up
on
there.
Route 188 if you were going between the town of Jefferson and Waynesburg. But Evan found this on the Bing Maps. We have no idea how long this bridge has been down. We're standing on what was one of the abutments for it. So what's cool is, if you can see the large one in the middle that's all concrete, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but on the other side, it's wooden. And that's what it was over here, it was these wooden supports that held the track. And if you look way up top, you can see that they were burned at some point. That could have been, who knows when, though. But what happens, it looks like this was the weak link in the chain.
Here's
these
where
posts looked like they were cut, though.
Yeah, but these were the posts were.
That's probably like what, like an 8x8?
Yeah,
Or something like that.
maybe a 10 by 10.
And, well, it held that.
Yeah.
So,
But there's an active track right there. I don't know. Is it CSX? I'm not sure.
it probably.
It's the one that goes by Fredericktown into California. But there's an active track right there,
And the fire whistle's blowing.
and the fire whistle's blowing. So this fed right into that active track, and it serviced the mine.
And that abutment there has a big old gnarly crack in it, too. It's not long for the world, I don't think, either. But, this is really cool.
Oh, and we didn't even
Falling in holes again.
and we didn't even know this was back here until by accident. So there's so much cool stuff in this area that people just don't know. And I've lived here basically my whole life, and so has Chip. And he
Yep.
went to school right over the hill there when he did go to school, and he didn't know about it.
Nope.
So
I mean, I'm sure, when we post stuff like this, we always get the comments, oh, yeah, we used to party down there, or whatever, Was how, does anybody know? Did this thing fall, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 50 years ago? Who knows?
yeah, so
The
let us
mine's
know.
been closed since what?
Someone said the 80s, so I think it was before
I'm
that.
thinking it was before that, too. Next time we'll research before we come out.
We need to get on our
We
A
do.
game. This was spur of the moment, so
It
don't
is.
blame us because
It is.
we're beautiful.
We leave the thinking up to Danielle, and she's not here today. So
Anyway, she's gonna be pissed because she's
we
not
need
here.
to,
today.
yeah, we're going to have to come back here because Dee will want to
Yeah.
sink her camera into this. But it is cool.
So
Let's go
that's
go
it.
back up. and
Okay.
look at it.
So down here on the 10 Mile, as we were saying, there's an active line right beside this. This is where the spur where it went to Mather, and you can see the train coming round the bend. CSX, of course. Good brand of trains. And it will go right down there, and there is what we just saw. So this joins it. We're going to try to get on the other side now. Possibly.